of getting ahead in respect of all that we'll be discussing on the program. That's at Procyon RTV is the handle. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Thread. You can also download the Procyon Radio and TV app. The Procyon Radio and TV app gives you an opportunity to listen to Procyon Radio, watch Procyon TV, and read great news on procyonnews.com. Generally, the Procyon Radio and TV app is a one-stop shop where you can catch the Procyon experience. So download it from the Google Play Store to enjoy all that we have in stock for you. Okay? And I believe that once you are following us, you will be able to get all of this. So let's look at some more details in respect of the snippets that I listed earlier. And the first one is the withdrawal of Niger Republic, Mali, and Burkina Faso from the ECOWAS sub-regional group and what it portends. And their withdrawal, I would say, is the outcome of the initial suspension by the ECOWAS of this group as a result of coup or military takeovers in this country, or a regime change, the non-ballot box regime change. I'm careful not to use the word democracy or democratic change. From ECOWAS that there is going to be military consequences in respect of the first regime change, the security implications, and the things that we'll be looking at on the program Ground Zero today. He'll be joining us in discussing these issues on the program today. I'm still trying to get across to our third guest on the program in the person of Danjuma Abbas Dangwa to see, to also have him giving us his angle. So once again, I want to welcome my guest, Samuel Johanna. You are welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes, and thank you, listeners at home and viewers online.
Mike Ode Akatu, I welcome you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Hayes.
All right, we'll go straight to talking about these issues, which is the first one that has to do with the withdrawal of these three countries from the West African sub-regional group ECOWAS and what it portends for our economy and security. I'd like to start from you, Mike Ode Akatu.
Well, it is, thanks again, Mr. Hayes. What actually is a problem is the unconstitutional change in government by these three countries. Don't forget, even Guinea too was also having the same problem. It was suspended. Guinea was suspended. Mali was, Niger was, Burkina Faso was. And Nigeria had not lost the initiative when the Northern Elders stopped Nigeria and ECOWAS from invading Niger. If it has done that, by now, the regime would have been out. But the regime has dug in, and it is now considering the next move. Now, the implication is this. First of all, Nigeria, the river Niger, comes all the way from Guinea, the Futajalon Highlands, and then passes through to Niger Republic, then down to Nigeria. So initially, and it is from Niger that it has the longest thread, that's River Niger. So initially, Niger had wanted to build a dam across the Niger so that it can get enough water, hydroelectric dam, and then supply electric power to its citizens. But there was this agreement that, look, let Nigeria build a dam, and then we supply power to Niger. That is why we give Niger power and Benin Republic. Are you getting it? So in any event, if the regime wants to, that's the Niger regime now, if it wants to escalate, it will decide that it's going to build a dam across the Niger in its country. And that one will be a call for Nigeria may take military action by bombing that dam. I'm telling you, as you can see, the light situation in the country is even epileptic. It is so, the power supply. We don't know whether they are, or it could be attributed to the lack of rains. So if they dare build a dam,
The issues with the gas supply.
you understand? All
Thermal
right.
station.
Okay, but if they dare build a dam, it will worsen the crisis.
It is.
It's happening between Ethiopia and Egypt.
Yeah.
And Nigeria may likely take military action by bombing the dam. Dam is not something you just build in 2-3 years. Are you getting it? So when you bomb that dam, it will take a long time for you to rebuild. And meanwhile, the situation we have is just a quarrel that will be resolved. Again, the security implication, I'm talking about this about economic and security. Yeah, the security implication is this. It goes both sideways. Nigeria and Niger are partners in fighting ISIS, in fighting Boko Haram, and that's ISIS, ISWAP, and then even the terrorists. Because the last time I was in Maradum, the emir of Maradum was actually telling the other people that, look, you go and you bring bandits. He was telling the bandits, you go and you bring bandits from Niger Republic to come and fight. Even the Nigerian authorities are battling with their own bandits, trying to exterminate them. So you see, we have this joint task force that is used to combat insecurity. But because of this crisis, there will be a law. Now, the bandits can feel free to come to Nigeria, raid, run to Niger and hide. They can strike in Niger, run to Nigeria and then hide. Already there's a cross-border attack in Niger, in Chad, in Cameroon, and in Nigeria. Are you getting it? That is the Boko Haram. So it can be replicated on two sides. Now, if the Nigerians really want to get a little bit nasty, they could decide that, okay, let's allow the bandits a free rein. Let them move. You understand? The terrorists, especially the Fulani terrorists, that's not, when I say I'm not stereotyping, we call them nomads. Okay, let's relax our military and let them do the damage. And already security in reports have it that the Nigerian government has actually placed its troop on the border between Benin Republic and Niger, which also shares almost a border between Nigeria, with the hope that if there is anything, it can strike. Are you getting it? So the regime is getting belligerent by the day, knowing fully well that it is not a legal, body, and it could be removed or it could be threatened. You understand? Now, the economic implication is this. Niger is landlocked. Most of our imports come from Nigeria.
And Benin.
90% comes from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah, 90% comes from Nigeria. And that was why most successive governments like building ports and roads to Niger Republic for easy access. Then, don't forget again, we supply them power. And then we have about 7 border states with them. 7 states that have to do with buying and selling. In Sokoto, you don't even know where Ilela is and where the border is. The same thing in Daura. The same thing, so cross. And now, due to this very sanction, the borders have been closed. If you happen to go there now, you could be. I have a friend who was almost shot because when he went for because he was in Nigeria and they felt that he was a spy. You understand? But before you could easily cross from Nigeria to Niger and back and forth. Now that situation is not there anymore. So it hinders the economy. Now, it is turning hard on us, but it is also biting very, very hard on them. So that's one of the economic implications. So that cross-border trade is no longer there.
Okay.
So it has affected them. The power supply is no longer there. And we're also supplying them oil, petroleum products. We have cut that off too. And
Niger?
Yes, Niger.
But they also have their
just like
oil and refinery.
just like Cameroon, the other country, the English-speaking country, Ghana also has a refinery. It has oil, but it's not. They still depend on Nigeria to power those things. You see, Niger has even built a refinery close
to our
border, so that
I think it's for the purpose of being able to sell their petrol.
No, to refine. No, don't forget.
Their refined petrol, they will sell it to
No, but don't forget, we still supply them. They are not a major producer. They are not even self-sufficient. And then even what they produce in large quantities, uranium, and it is not even to generate electricity or power, but to export. Now, again, the security situation is this: Nigeria is caught up in a kind of a kind of play between the Americans, the British, the French, and the Russians.
Yeah.
Are you getting it? The Russians actually were the ones that pushed these three countries to leave. Already the Wagner force is in Burkina Faso. It is also in Mali trying to battle ISIS, trying to battle ISWAP and the rest. And they have expelled the French. And Nigeria's president, Bola Tinubu, is a good friend of the French people. He's always, I'm sure since he came to power, he must have visited France more than 3 or 4 times. Are you getting it?
He's even there.
You understand? And then the Secretary of State for the Americans came to the U.S., came to Nigeria to come and talk to Bola Tinubu. And the next day, Niger Republic called for a meeting of ECOWAS. You are not the chairman, you are not the head, you are suspended, and then you now demanded that ECOWAS should come and meet you. So Nigeria said, well, we don't have planes, and planes are grounded, we cannot move. Many other countries, even Guinea, which was suspended, declined, but Togo went. And then from there, they announced that they are no longer part of it. So you discover that militarily, there is an ongoing battle too. That is, for now, it has not translated into a shooting war, and it may not, but the Russians are also nudging these countries to leave, hoping that when they leave, and they are seeing Nigeria as the friend to their enemy. And the actions that Nigeria has taken already has even made the Nigerian strongman very, 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 very hostile to the country.
All right. Let me come to Samuel Yohana now. Still looking at the implication on our economy and security. What's your take and angle on this?
Well, in the first place, the ECOWAS leaders didn't handle this thing very well. They didn't manage it very well. Why do I say this? ECOWAS are here seeing how some ECOWAS member countries' leaders kept amending their country's constitution, overstaying longer than the required time. A typical example is Ivory Coast, where Adesan Ouattara is in his 3rd term now. He amended the constitution and now he's in the 3rd term. In Guinea, something like that happened. In Togo,
Guinea was suspended.
Yeah, in Togo, Nassimi Yadema ruled Togo for over 30 years. Now his son is there, I think, for 3rd term or 4th term, as if he's a monarchy. All these military juntas were watching all those things. That's what gave them the leverage when they took over and ECOWAS started harassing them. I think I remember they told ECOWAS that when some of those leaders were amending the constitution, why didn't you caution them?
Yeah.
Does it mean that among ECOWAS, they are ECOWAS members? They said you have left this thing long, long ago. You gave room for this double standard. And now you don't have the infantry to tell us that we need to get out and hand over power to the elected government. Apparently, Mr. Yes, what I'm saying now, these military juntas are not ready to go back to democratic rule anytime soon.
Yeah.
And those are part of their tactics now. Threatening that they're leaving ECOWAS. For them to say they are leaving ECOWAS, they cannot just leave overnight. They didn't join ECOWAS within a day or 2 or 3 years, 5 years. There are protocols guiding all ECOWAS members.
Yeah.
And they have all signed to these ECOWAS protocols. So they cannot just wake up one morning and say they're pulling out of ECOWAS. What they're trying to do now, in my view, is to throw a spin in the air and see how other ECOWAS members will react. And let me tell you something. If ECOWAS members decide to take this matter to African Union, I am telling you, the African Union will laugh at ECOWAS leaders and say, if you cannot handle your regional issues, why bringing it to the larger house?
Yeah.
Because these countries are countries that's on a good day. Nigeria would have just said, come, I want to see the 3 of you. And they will be on the next available flight to Abuja.
Yeah.
But you see, things have taken a dramatic turn. And all these tenure allegations that other African leaders have been engaging is what encouraged these juntas in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to get involved in what they're doing now. And let me tell you something, if nothing is done, more of these young military officers will overthrow democratic electoral government in their country. And you see the danger of the last 1 year, junta in Burkina Faso has survived 6 military attempted coup attempts. And I tell you, the other military guys, the young guys, will not leave them, allow them to rest. They will keep strategizing on how to dislodge them. And now that military regime is in these 3 countries now, if care is not taken, is it countries?
Yeah.
We have a lot of issues in Nigeria. We cannot afford to have another issue. Nigeria would have worked on this thing long ago. Why do you think America leaves this country, go to other continents, and see that they get a control, stronghold over some countries, establish their military base there, and make sure that their eyes are on those countries? Might hit their country.
Yeah.
We have not done that for a while. When Gaddafi was going down, I expected what we would have done was to see how we can give cover up to our border front. Let me tell you, 50% of the light weapons we have in this country now came from
Libya. Gaddafi's catch of arms.
Because Libya, Gaddafi, when he was alive, stockpiled arms.
Yes.
What he was trying to do with those arms, only God knows. And immediately, Gaddafi was dislodged. Those armories were let loose.
Yes.
And people went there, packed all those arms. Now they have proliferized small arms, light weapons in West Africa, some region. As we speak now, if you go to the border between Nigeria and Chad, you can get a brand new AK-47 for around 150,000 naira, 100,000 naira.
Wow, wow.
And all these are arms that were taken from Gaddafi's armory. And another thing that if we're not careful, the way this thing is going, we should be careful the way we listen to these countries that Mike Odia earlier mentioned.
Yeah.
They want to push us into something that might result to what is happening in Ukraine. Go attack, we'll be there giving you the necessary support. Look at what the European Union was saying yesterday, that they factored a deal of 50 billion euros for Ukraine. What can $50 billion do for Ukraine? We are all seeing the damages that they inflicted on Ukraine then.
Yeah.
I was expecting to look at the range of 500 billion euros to push in some of the present destiny. So ECOWAS leaders have to stand up from their slumber. This double standard will not help them.
Yeah.
Because we all need each other. Nobody wants a minus.
Yeah.
We all want addition. If there's a way, ECOWAS will go around these people and see they don't have a dialogue. Like I said, they cannot just pull out overnight because there's so many ECOWAS protocols guiding these countries. A lot of their nationals, these 3 countries, are scattered all over West Africa. We have a lot of Malians in Nigeria. We have a lot of Burkinabes in Nigeria. Is it Niger? Niger and Nigeria are almost one country. So like Mike said, if you go to around Maradi, you go to around Jibia, you can't even differentiate who is a Nigerian and who is not a Nigerian. So the earlier the better, the ECOWAS countries sit down and see how they can resolve this issue in good time so that it doesn't take a different dimension that at the end of the day, it will be effort in futility.
Yes, I think we have exhaustively talked about the implications of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger Republic pulling out of ECOWAS and how it can impact on Nigeria. Now let's look at the second snippet, which has to do with rerun elections that INEC has slated for the 3rd of February all over the country and the places where rerun elections are built to happen. Well, they always say charity begins at home. Kaduna State, where Procyon Radio is domiciled, is not excluded. And even the constituency where Procyon Radio exists is also going to be doing a rerun tomorrow. Meanwhile, Procyon Radio and TV will be running a live transmission of the process activities at the various polling units. And for the benefit of those that are listening and are around this particular constituency, which is Kaduna South local government area, there is going to be rerun in polling unit 006, that's LEA Kakuri Gwari. There's also going to be rerun in polling unit 005 in GDSS Banawa. And another one, polling unit 009, Market Road, Barnawa. Also, there will be a rerun in polling unit 045. Is this Q or Q4? Gora Street, Kakuri Hausa. And there's also going to be rerun in polling unit 022 LEA and 1 Mechibi, that's in television. All right, these are units in and around Procyon Radio and Television where rerun will happen tomorrow. We are going to be on ground to monitor it. Now, looking at rerun elections in Nigeria before now, many people don't normally turn out for rerun elections. But with the level of security that has been put in place and assured and guaranteed in respect of tomorrow, I think everybody can come out and go vote without fear, because we have assurances from the security agencies that they are going to provide adequate security to man all of these polling units. So for any person that is thinking of doing anything funny, there's going to be a match for you in the presence of security. That's on one hand. Then secondly, this is to give assurance to people that will be coming out to also come out, go there and vote for whoever you want to vote for. The most important thing is you need to come out and exercise your civic responsibility by voting for whoever you want to vote for tomorrow in the rerun that will be taking place in different parts of the country, Kaduna State, and of course in Kaduna South local government, where Procyon Radio and Television is domiciled. Now, we'll be looking at the role of civil society organizations and, of course, the media in monitoring, observing, and reporting all of this. And what do you think the presence of these CSOs and media will do to the election tomorrow? I'd like to start from Michael Deakatu.
You know, even the media is part of the CSO, civil rights, civil service,
civil society organization.
In short, the media is, despite the fact that it's a civil society organization, its role is actually, number one, public information dissemination. It is going to be monitoring the result, the outcome of the election. Before even the election, it's going to monitor and it's going to ensure that everything goes adequately. The media is the eye of the people. It is the eye of the government, and it is the eye of the world and the eye of the international community on. I report for Truth Nigeria, and I'll be monitoring and I'll be writing to Truth Nigeria, for Truth Nigeria, and I'll be telling them that the election is either good, successful, or it has been flawed. And they are going to take it with the Vanguard newspaper, the same thing with Procyon News, you know. So our job is first of all to ensure that the world knows about what is happening, and by so doing, we are maintaining the balance. I remember years ago under Erufai, and the students in Castle, the students were protesting, and the security agents, they wanted to go hard on them. And then they saw us with cameras and said, hey, hold it. These are journalists, don't do anything. And they kept quiet. They were speaking in Hausa and in Lotu. You know? So we have, in short, the fact that I even have that tag on me, media, any person that wants to misbehave will be in check. The security organizations, security agencies, when they see the media, they know they have to do their job properly. The INEC officials too, they know they have to do their work properly. Now, where we have issues is when you go to the collation center, the DPO will always say, media men, leave the place. What for? You know? So the role of the media and the civil society is very crucial. The civil society itself will do an appraisal, tell an appraisal of the whole, even before, just like the media, do an appraisal and say, okay, funding was released or funding was not released. This is where these things happen. And at the end, it will present its report. From the report of the civil society, we will know whether the elections are flawed or whether they are free and fair. I understand. So they, as well as the media, helps to keep the election balanced, help to keep government officials, opposition leaders, party, you know, all the political players in the party in check. And, you know, like you just said, you are telling the people to come out and vote. Come out and vote. There will be adequate security. The media also motivates people to ensure that there is good governance and democracy is in check. So I think we have a big role to play. And like you said, tomorrow is a big day. I was with somebody and he was telling me that, look, from Kapuri. He said, I'm coming out. I want to send a message. I'm bringing my wife, all my children that of age. They are coming to vote.
Okay.
You know, and he was telling me, look, the lawmaker from that place, well, I want to send a message to him. You understand? So no, I'm leaving that.
Okay.
So I want to send a message to him by coming out to vote. So I think this very rerun election, or whatever they call it, is going to be very, very, very tough. Nationwide, people are mobilizing, not only in Kaduna, in other parts of the country. They just feel like, look, let's come out. Some will be supporting their house, their representatives. Some will be voting for the opposition. Some, so there is going to be a huge turnout. We are not going to have that kind of lackluster or apathy, voters' apathy immediately after the.
All right. Before we bring on Samuel Yohana, finally we have been able to connect with Danjuma Abbas Dangwa. Danjuma Abbas Dangwa, let's speak to the second item, the rerun election that's coming up tomorrow, and the need for citizens, or what do you think citizens should do, and how do you think they should conduct themselves? Danjuma, over to you.
Well, it's a civic responsibility. Thank you so much, Ahis. It's a civic responsibility for people to turn up for elections. And I think that people also should have an understanding that your representative from your constituency is as much as the closest government you have at the state level. And it's also quite critical. And considering the fact that these elections are happening, especially here in Kaduna Metropolis, it's Makira constituency, Chukun local government area, for instance, and of course, there would be every need for people, to take interest and know that this thing plays out as it should. And as it should is that it is free, fair, credible, without any form of intimidation, and without any form of meddlesomeness too by the umpire. Over time, I think electoral offenders have always seemed to get away with it. And, at best, you will hear that it is the court that has actually called out some of these infractions. You would expect to see prosecutions, take effect after courts have also unraveled some infractions around the elections. But some way, somehow, the perpetrators of these things seem to get away with it. I think that is a big concern around the civil society space, because we know certainly that without punishment, we'll see most of these things recur. So the objective is to get as much evidence as possible, especially the role of officials that are going to guide this election. You'll be shocked by tomorrow. For instance, some electoral officials have already planned out how they will delay election materials getting to some locations. These are issues that are also quite.
Danjuma, we've lost Danjuma. Let's quickly come back to the studio. And Samuel Yohana.
Yes.
Yeah, speak to tomorrow's rerun.
Well, usually rerun elections are elections that electorates hardly come out. But because the stakes are high now, I see people coming out tomorrow to come and exercise their civic responsibility. And like Danjuma was saying before he went offline, the insinuation that there are certain things happening on the ground, that election materials might be delayed or not even taken to some locations completely tomorrow. And that is a serious offense when it comes to the conduct of the election. We will advise the electoral umpire to please provide a level playing field. This is election, this is not war. And we all have a stake in the Nigerian project.
Yeah.
Like Danjuma said, a lot of electoral offenders have not been reprimanded. And that has given more people audacity to misbehave anytime election comes up.
Yeah.
We want to see election offenders being reprimanded so that it will serve as a deterrent to others.
Yeah.
And I tell people every day, if you have a vibrant legislature, I tell you it will put the executive under check. But here in our climes, we're more interested in the elections of president, governors. But I tell you, if you have a very vibrant National Assembly, you have a vibrant state legislature, I tell you, because these are three separate arms of government, judiciary, legislature, and the executive.
And the fourth one.
There's the electorate,
The
media. Yeah, the media. And like Mike said, most of the times when the media are around, electoral umpires and security agents tend to behave. So I'll urge the media and the CSOs to be on ground tomorrow to take note of every activity, live transmission to wherever is necessary to transmit, so that we'll have a level playing ground.
Yeah.
Yes. This is going to court from time to time. Courts decide who wins, who goes for the wrong elections. Please, we should minimize it.
All right.
It's costing us a lot of money to conduct the wrong elections and off-season elections.
All right. 0809 799 1989 and 009 4646 are the numbers. So there we have our first caller this evening. Hello, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
My chairman, a very good evening to you.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
It's Kore on the line. Mr. Samuel, good evening, and Mike.
Well, thank you, Mr.
Thank you,
Kure.
Engineer Kure.
All right.
Kore Engineer.
Yes, you're welcome.
Let me start with the ECOWAS country that left. You see, where there's no justice, you don't blame that person. You people are faking. In a situation whereby those people are amending the constitution, I was expecting the ECOWAS to come out on them. Why are you amending that constitution? You know, it will hurt some people. Some people are just waiting for them just to complete their tenure and pack their bag and baggages and left. But they revise the ticket. They refuse to interrupt some people. Some people are just waiting for them just to complete their tenure and pack their bag and baggages and left. But they revise the ticket. They refuse to intervene. So that's why they feel that the best way they should go is the military way. And about INEC, let me take it such as so that others can contribute. INEC. It's only the time of Mahmoud who they hear inconclusive, rerun, and so on and so forth. Me, I have a vow that I will not go and vote again. But besides the fact that I know if I didn't go and vote, it will not help me nor help my family. So I just have to go and vote. But the winning and sending signal to Mahmoud, let this thing not be compromised. Because that's why you make people to demoralize. You can't be inside a river, so will be entering your eyes. And I'm advising the lawmakers, let them make a law. Whenever election has been conducted, let them finish everything in court before they swear in that person. Otherwise, they are bringing a lot of confusion. Okay, see what happened in Kano. See what happened in Metara. See what happened in Plateau. So they should always make it responsible. The incumbent person should be sworn in and have court case. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Kure, for stopping by this evening. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. My name is Otumba from Kano.
All right, Otumba, you're welcome.
I just want to ask, I don't know, I said Kaduna State, I think they say 7 local governments. Does it mean the whole Kaduna will be shut down, or just those affected areas that movement will be destroyed?
It's
And I don't know whether you people can help me out.
in those affected areas.
Hello?
It is those affected areas that movement will be restricted.
Okay. Therefore, those that withdraw from, they do not help themselves. Maybe they are being pushed by one serious country, which they are trying to, one of them is trying to come in there and to just affect them, maybe to provide one or two things for them. But for me, I think they should rethink and before they decide that to increase and politically. That's what they should think of, rather than just because they are being getting support from somewhere. Good evening.
Thank you so very much, Otumba Rufai, for also adding your voice to the conversation this evening. 0809-799-1989 and 0809-4646-206 are the numbers to dial to be part of the program this evening. The program is Ground Zero and it's coming to you on Procyon Radio and Television in collaboration with Invicta 98.9 FM. And of course, all right, we have this call coming in now. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening, and the guest at the studio.
Evening.
Good evening.
My name is Simple Comrade Gabriel, one of the unpaid man in Kaduna State.
All right, Comrade Gabriel.
Sir, what I wanted to ask is that this election, is it a fault of the annex or the completing report from the judiciary or what? Because we listen carefully on how the parties that are participating in Canada, for example, what they were saying in this radio program. Some areas, they say the ballot paper were not stamped. Some areas, the names were not included. And unfortunately, why should ANEC went ahead to announce results without properly verifying whether this vote they vote are correct or not correct? That is not what they did. But my plea is that since all of us are taking upon ourselves, because I'm going to vote as a television, all of us are going to take upon ourselves to go and vote. Let us vote peacefully, just as your guest are saying. So we'll come out peacefully. No matter what happens, no condition is permanent, and definitely by the special date of what I think things are going to change. Because for now, I will tell the truth, just as good as said, I will vote, but I will wake up area to take my Gary or Dankari so that I can be able to go there because there's a lot of
can make a difference.
Airport. 8 years, I want to be a workers, we are crying, 21 years now, nobody give us cover. What have we done to Nigeria?
Ubasan is listening. He will talk to you guys.
All right, 0809-799-1989 and 0809-4646-206 are the numbers to dial to be part of Ground Zero this evening. And of course, you can go to our various social. On YouTube, we are streaming live. You can get us on YouTube at Procyon RTV. You can also join us on Facebook at Procyon RTV. We are on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Thread. Not forgetting Twitter too. We have a unified handle. The handle is at Procyon RTV. Still looking at the roles of, let's take this call before we look at that role. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the program. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Awusko from Nasarawa.
All right, Awusko, let's have your take.
You see, most of the presidents in Africa, most especially West Africa, are parading a dubious democratic mandate that was not given by the people. So, as Johanna presided, most of these African leaders have no right to question the juntas that are taking over, because the democracy we have in Africa is not the choice of the people. Until it is rectified, people choose. That is when everyone that can clap heavily on good us. As for the election that is coming up, the media and the civil society are the watchdog of the people. They must make sure all of accurate election is take place so that people's representation is what is mandated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Awusko. All right, 0809-4646-206 and 0809-799-1989. I was saying the role of civil society and the media is one that one cannot underestimate, because apart from ensuring that we tell people to come out to exercise their civic responsibility tomorrow, we have also told them the areas where these rerun will hold. We would also be on ground to report accurately and truthfully whatever transpires there. Don't forget that our presence, just like we pointed out earlier, would also help in ensuring that some people do not do things that ordinarily they shouldn't be doing, like trying to manipulate the system. So, still looking at our role, and do you think that we've been playing that role adequately, even in the past elections?
The fact is, Mr. Hayes, the Nigerian media has ever been one of the vibrant and the best in Africa, despite the fact that we have interferences from the government. We've been playing the role very well. And whatsoever the media says, if the media says this election is free and fair, the world, the civil society organization will say so. And I'll give you an example. The 1993 June 12th election.
Yeah.
The world praised it. Why? The Nigerian media also praised it, and they are still looking at it as a benchmark. You understand? The election, or 2010 election that saw the election of Goodluck Jonathan. You know, was it
2011?
2011 was good. The 2015 election, the media also reported it, and that it was one of the best. And you can see till date, it's recorded the least litigation. You understand? So we have been showcasing and we have been highlighting. We have been doing things to show that Nigeria to show the true pictures of things. Even in the fight against insecurity, when we come out, we say insecurity is here, is there. No, the government doesn't want to hear that. But we are telling them that this is what is happening so that they can take action and it ends. You understand? So the media has been actually protecting our democracy, projecting the democracy, and even the run-up to the democratic processes. The media has been there. We've been covering INEC. We've been saying if there is funding for INEC. We've been telling you whether there is funding for CEC, that State Electoral Committee. You know, we've been reporting all the activities through, and we've been telling the government this is the area you have had, and this is the area you've done well. We have been telling INEC too, just like some people. We have been telling INEC the feelings of the people. The people are saying, they are telling Mr. Mahmoud, Professor Mahmoud Jega, don't allow our vote to be shortchanged. I mean, yours, Mahmoud Yakubu. So the media has actually been playing good role in ensuring that democratic processes are playing free and fair.
All right, Samuel Johanna.
Yes, the media and the civil society group have been on their feet, but they can do better. Reason because in as much as in every system, you have some people that will want to circumvent the progress in the destiny. So for elections generally and governance, the media, as far as I'm concerned, have been putting the government on its toes. And if not for media, some of the shenanigans that have been happening in our elections would have been more than what we're experiencing now. And we are hoping that moving forward, the media will get more support from the citizen, not distracting the media, because at times you see the media putting up something, before you know it, some citizens will start saying something, trying to distract, compromise have taken place here, this has been done there. Let the necessary support be given to the media so that they can do better.
Okay.
Because if you have a vibrant press,
I
mean, you put the government under check. And I think when we have good governance, the citizenry will, have a sign of relief.
All right, coming to Danjuba Abbas Dangwa now, your parting shot on what more is the media playing their role adequately, and the civil society, and what more can they do? Danjuma.
Well, I think they are, and I still think that the reward for hard work is more work. So again, we have a society that really needs this level of enlightenment, needs this level of inspiration, needs also the needed, conscientization to take root and take governance seriously. And there is anybody who is keeping faith with Nigeria should also keep faith with democracy and not lose hope, that these things at the end of the day will get better because you are participating in it. I think that what we have always said over time is that we cannot leave politics in terms of elections now. We cannot leave elections for just politicians. Citizens need to be more interested in how elections are conducted, and also ensuring that during elections should not be the moment that they are counting their votes. It should be the moment when they are able to count gains. So for the threat to violence, the concerns around late arrival of materials, the concerns around institutional infractions, for instance, I think these are issues that we are all going to be quite focusing our lenses about tomorrow. And most importantly, I think also there is this opportunity. Once the media is involved too, it means all the people can get involved. And they get involved by calling in, by also engaging in some of the stories as they unfold, and by also responding to the facts about ongoings within their community. And I think that that's just the way we may, at the end of the day, have an election that we can call credible, fair, transparent, and acceptable to. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dangwa Abbas. Danjuma, I'm taking it from the back. Danjuma Abbas Dangwa, thank you so very much for adding your voice to the program this evening.
Martins, yeah.
And for us in the studio, we sincerely appreciate you. But meanwhile, we want to once again tell electorate in this following unity. One particular is that because
it's your area.
Procyon Radio and TV is domiciled in Makera constituency and the Kaduna South Badawa ward. So want to tell people in polling unit 006 in LEA Kakuri Gwari to go out tomorrow and exercise their franchise. In polling unit 005 GDSS Badawa, that's a government Badawa GRA here, government day secondary school. We also want to tell people in polling unit 009 in Market Road, Barnawa, to also come out tomorrow, and also those in polling units 045 Q4 in Gora Street, Q4 Gora Street. That's in Kakuri.
That's where I lived before. Kakuri. No, it's not even Kakuri outside. It's on the way to. It's between Air Force down.
Okay.
That's Makira. Yes.
Okay. Also, those in polling units 022 LEA and Gwame Chibi in television, please go out tomorrow and exercise your civic responsibility. Go out and vote. Let's put it in plain English. Go out tomorrow and vote for whoever you believe will be able to represent you adequately in the rerun election. There's adequate security and there'll be full media coverage to ensure that everything goes smoothly. I want to sincerely thank the management and staff of Invicta FM, not forgetting Wisdom Agulana and Ifemi Onibio for linking Procyon Radio to Invicta FM. Also to the stage manager today, Gabriel Okotie, to the ICT man, Paul Jacob, not forgetting Humphrey Ilore, and of course to Samuel ID Crack. Definitely I can't forget the producer of the program and the station manager in the person of Sarah Adon. I thank you all and I appreciate you all. Until next week we'll be on again. Remember, tomorrow morning we are going to do a live coverage in this constituency, moving from one polling unit to the other, and also ensuring that everybody comes out to vote and we give you a blow-by-blow impression of what's happening. All right. Plant the tree today, water it, and watch it grow. May the good mighty Lord bless and keep us all. Remember to keep shining like the star that